Good morning. So the day has come. We are on our way to pick up our new home, which is a 40-foot Silverton aft cabin. It's a 1989 yacht, I guess it would be considered, but it's not that nice.
It's not like $1 million yacht or anything.
But it's our new home for the next several months, possibly up to a year. That's the plan.
Longer.
Yeah, the plan is to migrate onto the boat for about a year, and a lot went into the decision, and a lot of twists and turns have come along the ways that have been part of our story, and which we wrote about as well. But we're incredibly thankful that God led us to this boat and getting ready to take this step. So one of the things I want to talk about was just kind of why we're doing this and what we hope to get out of it.
And we're in the car on our way to pick up the boat,
Yeah.
and had a little bit of free time, so we decided to go ahead and make a quick video this morning before we actually got a boat.
Yeah, this is the pre-purchase conversation. What we hope. But I think one of the reasons for me, or a few of the reasons for me, that we decided to do this was a lot of it was about our kids. We've always homeschooled up until last year, where we sent them to Harvest, which is like a hybrid, where they go. They were at school 3 days and home 2 days, and that was a really good school, and one that we hope to continue to be a part of in the future.
They've actually been kind enough to treat this year away kind of as a year abroad for us, so we'll actually still get all of our lesson plans from them, and keep, just so that the boys can stay on track and be ready to go back into that same school when we come back to land. But for the next year, they'll still be getting all their lesson plans from that same school.
Yeah, which is awesome. But they played a big factor in the decision to do that now. One, that their ages are really, really good to do this. They're young enough to be easy and mobile, but old enough to not have to be watched every second. So the age is really, really good. And we've always traveled a bunch as a family with my job and what it's allowed us to do. We've always tried to seek adventure as much as possible. But they're growing. I mean, every kid's the same way, but they're growing up so fast, and you lose this time so quickly as parents. So we wanted to take advantage of my job and what it allows us to do from a travel perspective, and really soak up some time with them for a season. We've kind of marked off about a year we want to try to do this. So that was a big factor in our decision to sell our home and to change things up and to seek this adventure on the water for a while. What's another one for you?
I think one of the big things for me is just with my job and my business, I find myself with inappropriate priorities and pouring a lot into my business, and between homeschooling full-time or partially homeschooling the boys, Andrew's travel schedule, and then my job, which causes me to work a lot of weekends, and then it's been my third baby, so I've poured a lot into it for almost 10 years now, and realizing that, how many times my boys would walk up and I'd get my computer working and just kind of ignoring them or putting them off, not ignoring them, but not giving them the attention that they deserved, and realizing that, I'm never going to look back and say, man, I wish I had worked more, but I am going to look back and say, I wish I had made my boys more of the priority. I wish I had made my family more of the priority. And to say that, a season of pulling back from that and slowing down a little bit, and just, I use this term a lot, but kind of chasing slow with my family and being really intentional with our boys and building relationships now. destination for me. I'm never gonna regret that. I'm never gonna wish that I hadn't done that.
Yeah. So obviously the kids are a priority, and taking advantage of the job in this time period we have. Not really taken advantage of that like this before, so we're excited about that possibility. The other thing, I'd say there's three things. There's our children and kind of the season we want to have with them. There is a desire to simplify, and then the third is we love the water. So, but I think the desire to simplify, I've always kind of lived pretty minimally, but that's gotten progressively more of a focus of ours, is to try to live as simply and simplistic as possible. For a long time, just kind of live like everyone else, a house in an HOA neighborhood, 2 new cars, lots of toys and gadgets, and
it's funny when you start to pay attention to how much those things take up all the time in your life.
Or you have to, your time and or your resources are spent on maintaining them. And anyway, it's kind of a wake-up call I had over the last, I'd say 12 months or so. I think both of us came to that, of just how inappropriate our priorities were, and started to see what's really important. What's important is our people and experiences and things that last, and not things that are temporary and stuff just doesn't matter. So there was a desire to simplify. Before we even thought about doing the boat full time, there was a desire to simplify our lives as well. And that played a big part.
Well, and the boat life had always been kind of an end game for us. We had always thought that, I had always said, no, I can never live on a boat with kids. That would be too cramped. It would be awful. I was the one that wanted to go buy a 3,000 square foot house and, bigger and better and more.
In fact,
more,
a year and a half ago, we were trying to buy
we were actually under contract.
3,000 square foot house.
Yeah, we were under contract a year ago on a 3,000 square foot house. I thought that's what I wanted, and my sweet husband will do anything that I want most of the time.
Anything. In measure.
Do you see? I've lost my train of thought. That happens a lot.
Big house, but we
big
stopped
house.
pursuing it.
Yeah, but then I, just pulled back and realized that, a slower pace with less stuff. Like I think I just realized how much time I spent maintaining and managing even the stuff that we already had. And it was just by God's grace that things didn't work out for us to get that house, because I think I would be so utterly miserable now. And that's not to negate anybody who has a house, and we've done that for a long time. I think a lot of stuff happened then for us to say, okay.
For us, it wouldn't have been good for us, the way we're wired. And
oh, I remember what I was talking about. We thought, I always said when the kids graduated high school, we could go live on a boat, and that would be our plan, that when they were out of the house, we would go live on a boat.
Because I wanted to do this forever.
He's wanted to do it forever. I've been open to it forever, but just I always thought with kids it would be so hard. And then I think we just realized that our kids are at an age where it would actually be not only possible, but kind of awesome. And there will be high highs and low lows, I'm sure. But when we started to realize that this lifestyle could be a reality for us now, and I became more open to it, I think it kind of started to transform the way we thought. And then it ultimately ended up with me kind of doing the convincing, which is funny because Andrew had been the one that always wanted it, and
a bit hesitant.
He was more hesitant, and I had to convince him a little bit. But here we are, turning off the highway to go.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure I'm not lost here.
And I'm trying to make sure the camera doesn't fall. Right. So yeah, that's just a little bit of the backstory of what we're doing while we're doing it.
Yeah, and then lastly, we love the water, right? I mean, just love being on the ocean, all things ocean, sea, surfing, paddleboarding, snorkeling. Our kids love the ocean, and to have this time where we can just get close and spend this season together on our new home on the water. So these are the things we're excited about, kind of why we did this, and what we hope to get out of it is just a closer closer family, adventures and memories that will last for a long time. I look forward to the opportunity to kind of push ourselves to see what we can actually live without and not need. And I think how that will transform the way we look at life and what we pursue in our future. So those are the whys and the whats of what we want to see, why we did this, and what we want to see come out of it. So hope you come along with us on this journey. So that's it.
See ya.